Welcome, everybody. We're back in the Gospel according to St. John. We're now in chapter 11 here, and we have a raising of Lazarus after 4 days being buried. And with that, many of the Jews believe. How about that? That's a good thing. However, in 47, the high priests and Pharisees gather a council against Christ. And 49, Caiaphas prophesieth. And in 54, Jesus hid himself. At the Passover, they inquire after him and lay wait for him. How about that? Okay, all right, here we go. We're now in chapter 11, St. John, verse 1. Now a certain man was sick, named Lazarus, of Bethany, the town of Mary, and her sister Martha. 2. It was that Mary which anointed the Lord with ointment, and wiped his feet with her hair, whose brother Lazarus was sick. 3, it says, therefore his sister sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom thou lovest is sick. In 4, it says, when Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God might be glorified thereby. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. 6, it says, when he had heard, therefore, that he was sick, he abode 2 days, still in the same place where he was. In 7, it says, then after that, saith he to his disciples, let us go into Judea again. In 8, his disciples say unto him, Master, the Jews of late sought to stone thee, and goest thou thither again? ? Jesus answered, are there not 12 hours in the day? If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. Remember, we're back to that light versus darkness here in this. And notice the sight. And notice you're not stumbling in the day. In 10, it goes on, but here's the dark. It says, but if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. So, again, if you're in the darkness, if you're in the dark light of Lucifer, you don't know where you were, and you don't know where you're going. Okay? So there's that. In 11 it goes on. It says, these things said he, and after that he saith unto them, our friend Lazarus sleepeth, but I go that I may awake him out of sleep. And this means he's passed on, and they don't get it here. In 12 it says, then said his disciples, Lord, if he sleep, he shall do well. 13, howbeit Jesus spake of his death, but they thought that he had spoken of taking of rest in sleep. 14, then said Jesus unto them plainly, Lazarus is dead. 15, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, to the intent ye may believe. Nevertheless, let us go unto him. 16, then said Thomas, which is called Didymus, unto his fellow disciples, let us also go, that we may die with him. So at this, he's ready to give his life for the cause, isn't he? 17, then when Jesus came, he found that he had lain in the grave 4 days already. 18, now Bethany was nigh unto Jerusalem, about 15 furlongs off. 19, and many of the Jews came to Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. And 20, then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him, but Mary sat still in the house. 21, then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. 22, but I know that even now, whatsoever thou wilt ask of God, God will give it thee. In 23, Jesus saith unto her, Thy brother shall rise again. Okay, and Martha saith unto him, I know that he shall rise again in the resurrection at the last day. Okay, now notice the term last day. Notice she's well aware of the resurrection here. So she's pretty snappy on the doctrine, isn't she? 25, Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. How about that? He is the resurrection. 26, and whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. Believest thou this? Question mark. 27, she saith unto him, Yea, Lord, I believe that thou art the Christ, the Son of God, capital S-G, which should come into the world. 28, and when she had so said, she went her way, and called Mary her sister secretly, saying, The Master is come, and calleth for thee. 29, as soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came unto him. 30, now Jesus was not yet come into the town, but was in that place where Martha met him. 31, the Jews then, which were with her in the house, and comforted her, when they saw Mary, that she rose up hastily and went out, followed her, saying, She goeth unto the grave to weep there. 32, then when Mary was come where Jesus was, and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if thou hadst been here, my brother had not died. 33, when Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in the spirit, capital S, and was troubled. 34, and said, Where have ye laid him? Question mark. They say unto him, Lord, come and see. Now, this is a famous one here in 35. It's the shortest verse in the Bible. 35, Jesus wept. Then said the Jews, Behold, how he loved him. 37, and some of them said, Could not this man which opened the eyes of the blind have caused that even this man should not have died? Question mark. 38, Jesus, therefore, again groaning in himself, cometh to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. 39, Jesus said, Take ye away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, saith unto him, Lord, by this time he stinketh, for he hath been dead 4 days. Jesus saith unto her, Said I not unto thee that if thou wouldst believe, that thou shouldst see the glory of God? ? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. 42, the number of months in the great tribulation. And I knew that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by I said it, that they may believe that thou hast sent me. Okay, now you see how he's making an example for everybody so that they can hear, and some of these other things that he did them as examples so we would follow, okay? And here we have the prayer that they heard, and he did that purposely. 43, we go on. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. 44. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave cloths, and his face was bound with a napkin. Jesus saith unto them, Loose him, and let him go. Then many of the Jews which came to Mary had seen the things which Jesus did, believed on him. And this is what I'm saying. You never throw any peoples and put them all in one basket. It does not work that way. It will not work that way when the angels come down and separate the wheat from the chaff. They're going to do the separating down here on earth again, and never, ever, ever believe that just because of someone's race that they won't believe. That has nothing to do with race. It just doesn't. So here we have the good Jews, and they're believing in the real Messiah here, aren't they? In 46 it says, But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Jesus had done. I'll bet they love that, huh? They don't love anything that's of God, do they? 47 is a new paragraph. Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council, and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles. Now, see, if you were of God, is this what you would be doing? Would you be trying to overthrow this? Would you be upset because this is going on? You see, you know a tree by its fruit, folks. We went over that yesterday in the study that we're fruit inspectors, and this fruit is sticking out all over the place here in 47. 48, it says, If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. Well, that's going to happen, ain't it, in 70 A.D.? So they're just paranoid. They are really evil with this kind of paranoid attitude. 49, and one of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all. 50, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. He's pretty twisted up, ain't he? 51, and this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation. And it is not for that nation. It is not for worldly politics. It is not. He's doing it for his nation, his new Jerusalem that will come to earth and all his fruit and sheep. That's who he's dying for. Not this phony baloney fake priest or any of his government. None of those people. That's not of God. That's under the thumb of the Caesar. Okay? And that's not what he's doing it for. But there's his prophecy. 52, and not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad. So he's talking about the people that were scattered by Nebuchadnezzar even. That they were sold into slavery all across the firmament of the world, and he's talking about that great. And he's twisted up about that. That's not the way the gathering's going to come. Not like this, and it ain't going to be just people that are in Jewry. It's going to be of all nations, kindreds, and tongues are come to the great gathering. But anyway, that's him. And 53, then from that day forth, they took counsel together to put him to death. So, oh boy. Anyway, 54, Jesus therefore walked no more openly among the Jews, but went thence unto a country near to the wilderness, into a city called Ephraim, and there continued with his disciples. 55, new paragraph. And the Jews' Passover was nigh at hand, and many went out of the country up to Jerusalem before the Passover to purify themselves. 56, then sought they for Jesus, and spake among themselves as they stood in the temple, capital T, capital W, what think ye, that he will not come to the feast? Question mark. 57, the last verse, it says, now both the chief priests and Pharisees had given a commandment that if any man knew where he were, he should shew it, that they might take him. Okay, so they want to kill him. All right, how dare he raise the dead through the power of God Almighty? See, these people are sick, and even though this guy has a little bit of the scriptures here, this guy is a Sadducees. So he really doesn't, he has no real knowledge and understanding, or you wouldn't be an earthly, carnal Sadducees, okay? All right, I'll see everybody in chapter 12. See you there. Bye-bye.